A big round of applause and welcome to the ring, local girl, Angelina Rosari.
Everybody get down. J-Molly comes around, dance floor shuts down. I wanna get into something, even nothing, let it go. Turn it up, I put it down. Turn it up, I put it down. Hear the beat jumping through the speakers, about to blow. Turn it up, I put it down. I put it down. When the beat goes, do what you hear. Let go of your troubles, not in the air. You want to, so let go. Hear me calling, forget the drama. Let it all be broken by the sound of an emotion. Everybody get down. J-Molly comes around, dance floor shuts down. You wanna get into something, but nothing, let it go. Turn it up, I put it down. I put it down. Hear the beat jumping through the speakers, about to blow. Turn it up, I put it down. I put it down. Wanna get into something, but nothing, let it go. I put it down. I put it down. Hear the bass jumping through the speakers, about to blow. I put it down. I put it down. Everybody has their ups and downs. You just gotta let it go. We're right here, right now. Don't let it stop your show. So you should play your place on the radio. Wanna get into something, but nothing, let it go. I put it down. I put it down. Hear the beat jumping through the speakers, about to blow. I'll put it down. I'll put it down. Wanna get into something, but nothing. Oh, I'll put it down. I'll put it down. Hear the beat jumping through the speakers. I'll put it down. I'll put it down. You can stop me, you can copy my recipe. Let it go. Thank you.
Round of applause for Angelina Rosari. This young man is seriously trained with the best of the best, including Anthony the Man Mundine. He's trained with Azuma Nelson. He trains regularly from Sam Solomon nonetheless. He hails from Collingwood, Melbourne, Victoria. It is not Eddie Maguire. At 13 years of age, give it up for Pretty Boy George. He'll be making his debut in February 2011. With Peter Maniatis and Josh King. Ladies and gentlemen, Pretty Boy George. Let's go, mate. Rip it on. Let's hear you, Griffith. Make some noise. Have a look at the power behind those punches. He trains with Azuma Nelson and Sam Solomon in Melbourne. And really throwing punches by the bunches. Comment from the crowd, hit him in the breadbasket. And that's exactly what he might do in a couple of years' time. Pete, tell us about Pretty Boy George. He's got the punch. This is the future of Australian boxing, mate.
Brett, look, he's trained with a number of trainers, as you mentioned, Azuma Nelson and Sam Solomon, and he's also done a little bit with Jeff Fennick. We're planning big things for Pretty Boy, but we don't want to put too much pressure on him. He's only 13, he's just a kid, but he's shaping up quite well at the moment.
So when he hits main event channel on Ozstar, we can say we saw him first in Griffith.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think we'll see him at the main event pretty soon. I think he's destined to be a big name, and he's an entertainer and he just loves boxing.
Now he gets his debut in February 11. What's the event there?
That'll just be a BABA amateur normal fight for him. He will just turn 14, so he'll do that and just work his way through the ranks.
He put on the gloves at the first age of 4 years old.
Yeah, he did. He's just got a very good endurance. He does a lot of rounds, and he can do 10 rounds on the pads, no problem.
You just saw the combination there, left, rights. Make no mistake, this boy is the future of boxing.
Oh, he definitely is. It's a business, and can't wait to see him fight legitimately.
Let's hear you, Griffith. Make a round of applause for Peter Mangotis, one of the promoters here this evening. He's brought Pretty Boy George as an exhibition to show you the future of Australian boxing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are kids all over the country, just like Pretty Boy George, who put in the hard yards in the gym, and they start from the tender age of 4 years old. He put the gloves on, as you can see tonight. He throws the punches by the bunches. Rocky Porcino out of Griffith. You're impressed with Pretty Boy George?
Very impressed. He's got a big future there, mate.
You might want to get on board with Chemist Warehouse and sponsor him just like the Wills brothers the other night. Like I said, he's trained with the best of the best, including Azuma Nelson. Sam Solomon trains him. He's also trained with Anthony the Man Mundine, just to name a few. Hasn't even broken a sweat yet. Has not broken a sweat. I can't hear you, Griffith. Let's hear you pump it up for Pretty Boy George. Let's turn it on.
I'm sorry, maybe next time in the future. And I'd just like to thank the promoters for putting me on here, Peter Minianis and Mario. I'd like to thank Charlie for coming out and doing the exhibition with me. I'd like to thank Dom in my corner and Jordan for giving me the water. And I'd like to thank my dad for coming out here too and driving all the way from Melbourne. Apparently it takes 5 hours, but we took 11 for some reason. Yeah. I'd just like to thank Casella One and Summit for sponsoring the show and sponsoring boxing especially, and people that support boxing. This is what's going to really happen. Letting young kids like me and stuff like that hop in the ring. Without you, we wouldn't be able to have a future like this and have a good hobby. I'd just like to thank a couple of sponsors of mine. Everlast, Boxers Corp, Cedar, Bus. If you're in Melbourne and want to go around anywhere, the buses are good. There's a few on the road at the moment in Melbourne. And that's mostly it. And a League Crane from Melbourne too. Thank you. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Pretty Boy George! Now, if that is not the future of Australian boxing, I do not know what is. How was that for a show? Just to get things warmed up. Throw punches by the bunches. Let me hear you make some noise. The Ugali Club set to be ignited. In the red corner, making his pro debut at the age of 24, with an amateur career of 6 fights, resides in Narrabeen on Sydney's beaches, fighting out of the Rick Cooloo's gym. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give it up for Sean Martin. In the blue corner, out of Coffs Harbour, now Bondi resident out of the Toe-to-Toe Boxing Club in Sydney, with a record 3-0 professional, 2-time Australian amateur champion, with an outstanding record of 37-5. Featured in the All-Stars Contender Series, but was forced out with a neck injury after a 12-month break. We welcome him to the Ugali Club Griffith, the juicer, Ben McCulloch. Referee checking the gloves. One last time they are signed upon. We'll take the referee's instructions in just a few moments. As we get main event action underway.
Welcome all to the Ugali Club in beautiful Griffith in the Riverina in southwest New South Wales. I'm Patrick Skeen and I'm joined tonight by Griffith's own Golden Tonsils, Brad George from radio station AM 632RG. We're about to kick off with a fight one, and it's the Moment of Truth fight brought to you by Mario Rizzeri, Josh King and Peter Maniatis. Excellent matchup at the middleweight of limit of 72.6 kilos. Ben McCulloch, age 28, fight record of 3-0 in the black trunks with the white piping. And Sean Martin, 24, making his debut, blue trunks and white piping. That's a warm welcome to Golden Tonsils himself. Brad George, how you doing, Brad?
Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, we've got a good crowd here tonight, good local crowd. They love seeing boxing. They've turned out in big numbers tonight for what's going to be a huge main event card.
Indeed it is. And what a wonderful welcome we've all received, the whole team here in Griffith, and got quite a bit of history as a fight town, Brad.
Yeah, we had Roy Jones Jr. nonetheless and Danny Green at this very venue in October last year. Although they didn't fight, they did step into the ring. It was a moment the world missed, and we had a great opportunity to meet those boys before they got stuck into it in December.
Excellent, and back to the action. Ben McCulloch throwing out some nice left jabs and a straight right. And Sean Martin trying to work on the uppercut. No significant clean blows landed yet, both still feeling out in the early stages of round one. McCulloch's got the pedigree here, but you never know what you're going to get with a debutant.
He's got a good reach too. I notice he's really on the front foot and throwing them clean.
Well, this is, of course, McCulloch's first fight in the last 12 months, and he's landed an enormous right hook on the jaw of Sean Martin.
Unbelievable stuff.
And that's been waved off by referee Brian McMahon, and there's some concern for Martin in the ring. A monster left hook, and no one likes to see a fighter like that go down, but McCulloch showing his pedigree.
A little wonder they call him the juicer. He has made easy work of the event tonight. We couldn't have gone more than 2.5 minutes.
McCulloch takes his record to 4-0 in emphatic style. And Sean Martin's been hit with a mate, and he's still on the ground.
Doctor in the ring is Dr. Aftab Ahmed, a local doctor from Your Health here in Griffith. He's attending, and he's going to wonder where he's at the moment. He says that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we promise you action aplenty. Give it up for Sean Martin. Up and about. He is with us. The knockout in the first round. Give it up for the juicer, Ben McCulloch.
And Ben McCulloch takes his record to 4-0. Fantastic to see Sean Martin now back on his feet. Incredible chin he showed. And
for Sean Martin. A big welcome to pro boxing for Sean Martin in a big way. 30 fights and has taken on Australia's finest, including world champions Lovemore Nadu and Michael Katsidis, ranked 3rd in Thailand with a pro record of 15-14. Griffith Ugali Club, please give it up for Jacket Sawalerts. Now in the red corner, one of Victorian boxing's most exciting prospects. At the age of only 18, he's compiled a 4-0 record as a pro and as an amateur with a record of 6-2. In his corner, former Australian featherweight champion, Tony Mad Dog Miller. Raised in the Golden Valley's Greater Shepparton, and now out of sunshine Melbourne and the Keith Gillis Gym, he only rides Western. It's White, the Cowboy Richie.
And here we are, the Ugali Club in Griffith, in the Riverina of Southwest New South Wales. I'm Patrick Skeenham, joined by Griffith's own Golden Tonsils, Brad George from radio station AM 2RG. We're about to kick off with fight number 2. It's the Moment of Truth fight, brought to you by Mario Rizzeri, Josh King and Peter Maniatis. Golden Tonsils, Brad George. How's the action gone so far between Dwight Ritchie and Jack Ertz One Alert?
Short, sharp punches for the first couple of minutes of the round. Nothing really connecting that the judges can score on.
Dwight Ritchie with the black and white trimming, and Jack Ertz One Alert from Thailand, and he's in the blue trunks with white and red trim. Good action so far. Ritchie's not having it all his own way.
Our semi-main event before Frank Chumper steps out from Griffith, taking on Deshapon Swan Alert, and another Swan Alert fighting out of Thailand here tonight. He's just taking the defensive mode, and our showman from Shepparton, and Dwight Ritchie really putting on a show in the black and white.
Dwight Ritchie, known as the Cowboy, and he rides Western, apparently doesn't ride any other style, and he came into the Hat and the Cowboy ring to Merle Haggett. I'm a fighting kind of man, and he's landing some good punches. The son of the great Darcy Ritchie from Shepparton. Love that father and son action, Brad.
Heritage and good breeding goes a long way. You look at the Mundine sort of breeding. He played a little bit of rugby league, then came back to boxing and really showed him how it's done, and that's what you look for in the Ritchie fight tonight.
And Jack One Alert's had 162 rounds in the ring, and Dwight Ritchie's had 20 rounds, so it's experience. Dwight Ritchie lands a big right there. Jack One Alert takes it.
End of round 1. And the boys were just starting to get stuck into it too. Swan Alert really showing some fight there, putting on somewhat of a show.
A lot of chin and a lot of experience.
In round 1 here at the Ugali Club this evening, in our semi-main event, Dwight Ritchie taking on Jack Swan Alert out of Thailand. Give it up for our ring girl, Lauren, this evening in the red.
Seconds of the round.
Interestingly, on Box Rec, Swan Alert's ranked 493rd in the world, and Dwight Ritchie's ranked 498. So it really is an old bull, young bull. And Dwight Ritchie got all the skills of his father. Very technically correct. Comes out of the Keith Ellis gym in Sunshine. And Jack Swan Alert moving forward in traditional Thai style. You won't see a great deal of lateral movement from Jack Ert. He'll be moving in for the kill and trying to land his trademark left hook. Dwight Ritchie seems to have all the skills, Brad.
It looks that way, doesn't it? He's got the sharp, crisp punches. Yet it comes down to Dwight Ritchie, almost a street fight on the back streets of Shepparton, behind Star Bowl there.
And Dwight Ritchie, you had him in the radio station yesterday, and what sort of personality do you have?
He's got an electric personality. He wore the hat in. He was happy to talk on the radio, meet with people. I swear if he was a politician, he'd be out there kissing babies.
He's not having it all his own way there, and there was an inference of a head clash from Swan Alert a few moments ago, and he's again trying to land that left hook. Moving forward, a picture of concentration and focus. Some good combinations landed there by Dwight Ritchie.
Oh, Jaggers One Alert, in no uncertain language, says, bring it on, boy, bring it on. Big smile.
Big smile from Swan Alert here. He's eaten the best Dwight Ritchie's given him so far, and he's an all-action fighter. Always get your value for money from the Swan Alert boys.
Still calling him
ready.
on, still calling him
Loves
on.
his Muay Thai, loves his martial arts. He loves his scraps. Flown all the way from Thailand, off the plane, onto the bus to Griffith. And here he is giving a good account of himself against Dwight Ritchie. Dwight Ritchie's very composed all the same.
Composed on the defensive.
Controlling the tempo, lands a very good left jab there.
Swan Alert still smiles at him. This is the thing. Woo.
Swan Alert's a veteran of 30 fights, many in Thailand, many in Australia. He's fought some of the best Michael Katsidis, love more to do. He's been in the ring, he's got a lot of experience he brings. And can he tie up the youngster who's rising up the Australian rankings? Ranked number 6 in Victoria, Dwight the Cowboy Ritchie. We're in round 2.
And the advantage too with Dwight Ritchie, Shepparton being only 90 minutes from Melbourne, he could take on sparring in Melbourne or train at home in Shepparton. Either way, it's going to be sensational.
Yeah. And he comes with great pedigree, courtesy of his father, Darcy Ritchie, and showing all the skills his father had. And the Cowboy looks like a crowd pleaser. Hint of a low shot there. Boxers being two old school boxers, getting on with things. Darcy looking very compact, showing good lateral movement. Looking to counter Jakurt as he goes forward. Sawano lands a good jab there. And both willing to come in exchange. You get the feeling something's going to break soon on one of those exchanges, Brad.
One of these boys is set to explode. 1 minute signal given by our judges.
Swanalert moving forward. Focused in. Looking to counter
There
himself.
it is.
And that's the end of round 2.
In.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Back into it for round 3, Pat. These boys, not a scratch on them. They're playing a great game of boxing here that really could go either way at this point because they've traded the punches.
How did you have round 2, Brad?
Look, you'd have Swanalert out in front, but not by much, though.
Yeah, I've got the same way too. 1-1 heading into the third. Swanalert showing his years of experience. Good test for young Richie. Swanalert's really starting to get through with that left jab.
You can hear the local crowd really getting excited. It's not often we get these nights, but when they're put on with professionalism, and the people turn out for them.
Swanalert showing no effects of the jet lag. Flew in from Thailand 3 days ago. He means business tonight, giving young Dwight Ritchie, looks like it could be the toughest test of his career so far.
I get the feeling, Pat, that I see Dwight Ritchie on the defence for most of the fight already. And it's a matter he needs to step up, throw some punches, land some good ones.
Takes some risks to get some through. Lands a great left hook there. Ritchie starting to land some combinations. First real meaningful flurry of landed punches for the fight. But Dwight Ritchie, Jack Hurt, calling him in. He's tasted the power and he wants some more.
There you go, I told you. And there goes Dwight Ritchie, calling for exactly what I asked for.
I think he must have heard you there, Brad, because he's lifted his game at that point. And now we have a very interesting third round. Jakurt Swanalert came out hard. Dwight Ritchie's come back hard. This round's up for grabs. The good thing, Dwight Ritchie hasn't panicked.
No,
he's
not
in
at
against
all.
an older competitor. Got 5 or 6 times more rounds under his belt than Dwight does. So he's going to need all the skills he's developed in Keith Ellis's gym in Sunshine. He's setting back in behind the jab now, trying to land an uppercut, trying to show his array of punches. This round, round 3, still up for grabs.
Round 3, I'd say Dwight has really picked up the pace and could be on top with the judges.
Landed the more significant scoring shots, what our judges are looking for. Swanalert throws a wild left hook there, going for the money shot, going for the glory shot. We've already had one big knockout tonight, and that could have been the second had it landed. Dwight Ritchie comes back with an uppercut and a straight right. Not letting Jakurt Swanalert have his own way, and it's very important. He doesn't allow Swanalert, the experienced KG campaigner from Thailand, to start to impose himself here as Ritchie moves forward. Good form on those punches there, but they're not landing.
Dwight Ritchie
great.
reminds me a lot of Steve Wills.
Stevie Wills, yeah, he looks a bit like Stevie Wills.
He's got the look, and he plays the same sort of game.
Stevie Wills, Australian champion, and some would say top 10 pound for pound in Australian boxing. So an excellent comparison there for young Dwight Ritchie.
There it is in round 3.
Important as well.
Round 4.
Swanalert seems as cool as a cucumber in there, and on the attack you see Dwight Ritchie looking to find an edge to get the ascendancy in one way or another. There he goes.
Excellent combination landing there for Dwight Ritchie with the capped off with a beautiful left hook. Really starting to show his skills now. Hasn't really wobbled Jakurt anymore, but seems to have got here his respect, which I think was the key. Jakurt now not moving in as fastly. Cowboy on the ropes. Trying to set a trap there for Jakurt, trying to lure him in and land that right.
One thing I've appreciated with this fight, the boxers aren't getting tangled up amongst arms. That frustrates the spectator, and they just want to see a good, clean fight like this one. This is what people have paid their admission price for.
Well, you won't get that from Jakurt. He loves it. He loves the tussle. You see him. He smiles. More he gets hit. Willing him to come in.
Fighting him in.
Willing him to hit him in the chin. Things starting to get a bit heated in there, Jakurt. And maybe that's a ploy of Jakurt's to try and shake up the momentum here. Dwight Ritchie in control midway through the 4th round. Looking compact, throwing out the left jab. Looking all the boxer. Tonight is Dwight, looking to get his 5th victory. Jakurt Swanalert in his 31st fight. Trying to impose himself on the younger man. I'm very, very impressed with Dwight Ritchie at the moment, I have to say, Brad.
There you go, great combination. He's calling him in, he's saying, look, dinner's served, come and take it, and again.
Oh, it's erupting here.
right in front of our broadcast position. The boys go toe-to-toe.
No warning.
And trade blows.
No warning from referee McMahon. That's the first sign of bad blood we've seen in what's been a very interesting fight so far. How do you have Dwight Ritchie in this round?
Sensational effort. He's really come out with all guns blazing. Jack Hurt's Swan Alert has put the invitation out there. He could have written a wedding invitation and said, look, come on in, throw the punch, see if you can connect.
Yeah, Ritchie seems to have taken it to a new level. He's looking, really showing off all his boxing skills now. I'm not afraid to go inside and try Jakurt out with some infighting. Swanalert keeping his hands now. Looks like he's trying to land a big money shot. It's a cagey tie move. You don't see that too often in Australia, Brad. Looks like he's trying some different things in his arsenal to try and shake up the youngster who's looking very composed, Dwight Ritchie, in the black trunks, white piping. 4, 5, 6 punch combinations now from Ritchie.
The Cowboys doing very well out there. Now, Pat, what sort of research, with Swan Alert coming from Bangkok, Thailand, how does Dwight Ritchie research how he's going to fight Swan Alert?
Well, Swan Alert had a 12-round points decision against young Heath Ellis, the nephew of the great Lefter Ellis, and that tape's widely available, so he would have watched that fight. He also trains with Heath Ellis, so he was at that fight himself, so he's watched him for 12 rounds, and he's seen enough, but it's a good test.
Look at this.
In round 4, here at the Ugali Club, the Moment of Truth Fight Night.
Crowd here at the Ugali Club getting very worked up. 5th round. Middleweight fight between Dwight Ritchie and Jack Hurts Swan Alert. You have to say Ritchie's got the momentum in the last 2 or 3 rounds.
He
I
has.
gave Swan Alert the 2nd round.
He's
It's
really
all-
gotten on top of things, He's staving off those attacks from Swan Alert and really looking to go on the attack now.
And Swan Alert started doing a bit of a clowning, and that can often be an indication that the fight is rattled. Great combination by Ritchie, and that brings Jack Hurts Swan Alert out of his shell here in round 5. Some great early exchanges. Worked its way into being quite a crowd-pleasing fight, Brad.
That it has, and Griffith really turned out for their boxing tonight. A lot of promotion's gone into it, and when you've got someone like Dwight Ritchie in the ring, it's going to put on a great show, left, right, and centre.
Great work by promoters Mario Roseri, Peter Maniatis, and Josh King, coming together, New South Wales and Victorian promoters, to put on a great night of fighting here at Ugali in Griffith.
Now, for those watching the DVD at the moment and wondering where the hell is Ugali, it's about 5 k's from the CBD of Griffith. And the Ugali Club has had a history of boxing over many, many years. It's a great, big, beautiful club. A load of Italian weddings are fit in here just quietly for an Italian wedding. And they get a good crowd here for boxing whenever it's on.
And Dwight Ritchie's now taking things up to a new level. He's being invited in by Jakurt Swan Alert, and he's prepared to take it. And these two have decided they're going to put on a crowd-pleasing display for us. Ritchie firing in behind the left jab. So Swan Alert returning with interest. Ritchie getting the better of these exchanges, and Swan Alert moving forward, showing all the experience and not afraid to taste, dropping his guard, doing a bit of clouding. If I was Swan Alert, I'd be taking this a bit more seriously. Brad is really showing he's got the full bag of tricks, hasn't he? Dwight Ritchie for a youngster, 4-0.
Dwight Ritchie, now this bloke is seriously throwing the left and right to precision, great body blows to Swan Alert. Swan Alert is now on the back foot, on the defensive. Dwight Ritchie's taking control of this fight, and I dare and say ascendancy.
And you'd have to really have Dwight Ritchie ahead of this fight. And Swan Alert still moving forward. He's not moving forward with the same authority. The left jab's not landing with the same sting as it was. And Dwight Ritchie really controlling the tempo of this fight. Swan Alert's trying to do some different things here. Get on the inside. He's tried a whole range of different initiatives to try and stem the tide here, but it's looking all Dwight Ritchie, looking all the boxer. The boy from Shepparton, and only 2 hours down the road from Griffith, from the great fighting Ritchie family. And he's continuing a proud boxing tradition. Looking good now, trying to set the rangefinder for his big right. Throws a left, misses a big left hook there, so Swan Alert lands. Not a significant blow. He still has to watch himself.
Swan Alert's looking to land punches, but they're not making much damage. End of round 5, Swan Alert wants to go on with it.
And if he doesn't lose this momentum, it looks like it's going to be a comfortable points win for him, but he can't afford to lose focus, can he, Brad?
Not at all, because that's when Jack Hurts Swan Alert will seriously go on the attack, and with that kickboxing pedigree, he'll make the most of every little open opportunity that he can.
He's got 6 KOs on his record, Jack Goetz, one alert, so he can finish things. But it looks one-way traffic at the moment. Dwight Ritchie moving forward methodically, trying to break Jack Goetz, one alert down. So one alert showing no shortage of heart, still moving forward. He hasn't come all this way to lose, and he's waiting for that opportunity. A moment where Dwight Ritchie may lose focus and he can land that left hook, might change the tone of the fight. But now Dwight Ritchie's getting up on his toes and he's really showing the full arsenal of skills. It's a pleasure to watch this young guy develop. He's had 4 fights last year, he's undefeated. Had a great debut on Channel 10, and here he is at the Gali Club in Griffith. He's impressing us all, Brad, and the crowd really seems to have warmed to these two, in particular Dwight Ritchie, the cowboy.
Griffith enjoys a good show, especially seeing we don't get that much of boxing out here, but when we do put on a show, it's an absolute clinker. The crowd turns out for it. And this is where Dwight Ritchie has come out of Shepparton. He said, I'm here to put on a show. Jumped on radio with me the other day, and he was eager to put in a win here tonight, get the W. Jack Swanelet's still inviting him in, saying, mate, give it your best shot. I'm here for it. I've come all the way from Thailand. Let's get it on.
Referee McMahon there telling the two fighters to stop playing around. Both looking to counter-punch and not move in. But now the action's resumed with a couple of crisp combinations there from Dwight Ritchie. In and out, in and away. Working the veteran Jack Ert and showing a bit of showtime now. Got his hands down, showing all his speed and skills. He's starting to do a few party tricks, Brad.
This is the sort of thing you expect from Anthony Mundine, not a Thai fighter. Perhaps he's been watching the man.
I'm sure they get the man on cable TV up there in Thailand. Jack Ert's the one again indicating the punch didn't have that much power, but he's not coming in with the same authority he did earlier. Still trying to land the left hook as these two go to toe-to-toe. And Dwight Ritchie lands a beautiful right uppercut straight down the middle, and he knows it, and the crowd knows it, and things are livening up. One alert moves forward. Fantastic punch of the night for me so far, Brad.
This is going to go right to the wire. The judges will have to sit there with their calculators and seriously work out who's going to win this one. Swan Alert putting up somewhat of a fight, but you'd still say, I reckon Dwight Ritchie's out in front. Not by much, though.
Well, the good thing is it's about solving the puzzle that's in front of you. And Dwight Ritchie he's seen Swan Alert on tape, but he's got to solve his style. Things getting a bit feisty at the end there. Oh, Cowboys getting worked up and the crowd's getting worked. As we commence round 7 middleweight fight between Dwight Ritchie and Jack Swan Alert. Dwight Ritchie from Shepparton, now by Sunshine. Jack Swan Alert comes all the way to Bangkok to give the youngster his test as he tries to move to 5-0, and he's showing fantastic composure, range of punches, speed, and he's shown a very, very good defense, the complete package. Taking a few risks and trying to land a few bombs unnecessarily, I think, but he's a crowd pleaser. He'd love nothing more to get Jack Swan Alert out of here and go down the road tomorrow with a knockout win under his belt. Jack Swan Alert still not caving in yet, still moving forward. What are your thoughts, Brad? Round 7.
I'm loving Dwight Ritchie, the way he's come out, and it's a steep learning curve for Dwight Ritchie, isn't it? It's just the way he's got to get in there. He's taking on one of these Thai fighters that he knows a little bit about. He's watched the video, like I say, and it's a matter of him getting in there, connecting, making the right connections. And as I said before, one decent punch and the game's over.
Yep. Swan Alert. I think if you're going to do a body language analysis, whenever Swan Alert smiles, you know Dwight Ritchie's got one through.
Yep.
I'd like to play poker against Jack.
It'd be a giveaway, wouldn't he? The way he smiles and invites the opponent in.
Really like Dwight Ritchie.
Big fan of Dwight Ritchie after seeing this fight this evening. Yep. Love his finesse. I love the way he came into the ring.
And he's listening to his corner, Tony Mad Dog Miller, Australian featherweight champion. Fought Paul Ferrari, fought Jeff Fennick, controversial loss to Lester Ellis, giving all sorts of fantastic advice. And Dwight Ritchie lands another right straight down the pipe, really starting to work Jack Swan Alert over. But Swan Alert continues to move forward. It's really moved into being a crowd pleaser. I can't see Swan Alert changing the momentum unless something dramatic happens, but there's still good sportsmanship between these two fighters, and that is the most important thing, Brad.
We've seen that with most of the fights tonight, even the amateur fights. Sportsmanship a long, long way.
And Dwight Ritchie started showboating, but in between the showboating, he's putting some impressive combinations together. That was another beautiful right uppercut there from Ritchie. He's tight, compact, still not giving too much away and working the body. You don't see a great deal of the youngsters. They all want to headhunt. He's listening to his corner. slow him down, bring those hands down. Jakurt Sawanolet starts to protect the ribs with those elbows, opening up opportunities for that big straight right, which he's trying to lower the boom with here at Ugali Club in Griffith.
You mentioned solving the puzzle. Has Dwight Ritchie had enough connections to get the points with our judges this evening?
I think he has. I think with the sound of the punches, the crispness of the punches, and the general power, I think Jakurt Sawanolet, he's really stayed away from anything significant. Lands another great straight right. A lot of Sawanolet's punches now are fighting going backwards. He really has learned to respect, and he acknowledges that one. And moves straight back into the fray like the Thai warrior that he is, looking to engage. Fantastic end of round 7. Sawanolet, consummate entertainer there from Thailand, but I still give that round to Dwight Ritchie.
In round 7, bring on round 8 of the Ugali Club. 8th and final round of 8 3-minute rounds.
I'll give you this one. Finish with it. Yep.
Seconds out.
That 8th and final round, the crowd is starting to warm.
I think they've got their money's worth tonight. Jakurt Sawanolet, Dwight Ritchie coming together. A lot of respect. He's flown a long way for this fight to test young Ritchie, and Ritchie, all but for one round, this final round has passed the test. Let's see if he can get to that final round, show the composure. It's the first time he's been 8 rounds, so it's deep water for him. Jakurt Sawanolet's been here many times, but he doesn't look like he's got the power, and when he has landed the cowboy, he's been all chin. We're seeing now why Keith Ellis, Victorian Trainer of the Century, was very, very excited about Dwight Ritchie, and this is why he brought him down from Shepparton, because he wants to develop this young fighter as fast as he can. Sawanolet lands a good left. Nothing to worry the cowboy. Wouldn't like to see him take the foot off the gas and coast in the last round. Ritchie moving forward.
A lot of to and fro with the punches. Is it enough to get the points? We'll have to wait and see when the judges tabulate.
Ritchie's lowered the intensity. He doesn't have to do anything silly here. Round 6 and 7, he did throw a few different punches that had a bit of wrist attached to them, but now he's going back to his fundamentals, looking to set up everything off that jab, that piston left jab that's been landing in Sawanolet's face all night, and then landing the money shot. Love how he's going to the body there, lefts and rights. Referee McMahon rules that as a slip.
Nothing to worry about as Dwight Ritchie fires up the Griffith crowd.
They bring it home big in round 8. Ritchie looking to come home with a crowd-pleasing finish. Sawanolet looks to stand toe-to-toe as well. These two both taking risks till the end. Ritchie again looking to land that left jab. Set up that powerful right down the middle, and that's been the biggest scoring shot for him tonight, in addition to his fantastic high-rate body work, Brad.
Dwight Ritchie's really attacked the body of Jakurt Sawanolet, and I think that's where he's going to get those points. The little 1%ers all add up.
Yeah, you can hear Mad Dog Miller in the corner talking about going to the body. He knows what going to the body can do for a fighter. And Dwight Ritchie's still looking to finish this off. Sawanolet holding his hands low. And every time Jakurt Sawanolet's tried to go toe-to-toe with Dwight Ritchie, he's paid the price and had some effective scoring shots landed. I think you'll see, if I'm not mistaken, that will be reflected in the referee scorecards. It's been a very intense pace, Brad. You can understand these guys not going at the same intensity for the whole fight. Dwight Ritchie now fighting in bursts, but very effective bursts they are. And with 10 seconds to go, Jakurt Sawanolet looks to step up. Bit of toe-to-toe action the crowd love. Dwight Ritchie moving forward and getting the better exchanges. And that's the first time Sawanolet has clinched. Great.
I'm thinking the cowboy has got the point.
A regional star has been bought, and young Dwight Ritchie just down the road in Shepparton, and really won the crowd's heart. Didn't hear that sort of volume at the start of the fight. But it takes two to tango.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Ugali Club for a moment of true fight night. The judges' decisions are in. Judge Charlie Lucas saw the fight 80-72. Judge Bernie McMahon saw the fight 80-73. Judge Darren Jones saw the fight 78-74. A unanimous points victory to Dwight Ritchie, the Cowboy.
So the winner of the middleweight fight between Dwight Ritchie and Jack Ertz, one alert goes to Dwight Ritchie on points. Fight 2 at the Ugali Club, Griffith.
Dwight Ritchie for you, the Cowboy.
First of all, just want to say thank you to everyone out there to come out. Whether you like me or you don't, it really doesn't make a difference, but I appreciate you all coming. And thanks to Peter for putting on the show, and Josh King and all the other boys that had something to do with it. And I just want to thank Steve Pettiana, a couple of sponsors, mate, and Slacker Baldy, blokes from Goodyear Tire and Auto Cerner. And I just want to give all the glory to God. Thank you everyone.
The Cowboy out of Shepparton, Victoria. Now boxing in Sunshine, Melbourne. Dwight, the Cowboy Ritchie. Your round of applause for him. Let's hear you, Griffith. Griffith, are you ready for big time boxing? Let's introduce to the ring for 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant Asia Pacific Super Middleweight vacant title. Mick Croucher joins me in the ring for the World Boxing Foundation, President of the World Boxing Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in the blue corner, at the age of 32 years, he hails from Bangkok, Thailand. He's boxed 115 rounds professionally and has been in the ring with the best of his division, including Pradeep Singh of the Contender, Jamie Pittman, Les Scarrington, and Sakyo the Scorpion Beaker. Griffith, Ugali Club, welcome to the ring, Deshapon, the Punisher, Swallows. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Ugali Club, in front of 300, 450 people here this evening, we welcome you for the Moment of Truth Fight Night. In the red corner, also 32 years of age, he is Australia and Griffith's very own answer to the Italian stallion, raised in Griffith, starting his pro career in 1999, and he's fought the best in the super middleweight division, including Jamie Pittman, Jason Delisle, Tyrone Tongia, and world champion Danny the Green Machine Green. Continuing the proud tradition of Australian Italian fighting men, we welcome home Frank the Magic Man Jumper. Ladies and gentlemen, the 450 people in attendance, could I have you all upstanding for the Thailand national anthem? Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding now for the Australian national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Main event warfare. Frank Jumper taking on Deshapon Swan Alert. Your main event, the moment of truth has arrived. For Frank Barossa, the Magic Man Jumper, taking on Deshapon Swan Alert out of Thailand.
Okay, boys. I've already spoken to you in the dressing room. Remember, they come to see you fight, they don't come to see me referee. 10 rounds, touch them.
Welcome all to the Ugali Club in beautiful Griffith in the Riverina in southwest New South Wales. I'm Patrick Skeen, and it's almost a full house here at the Ugali Club, and they're here to see the World Boxing Foundation Asia Pacific title, and that's between Frank Jumper and Deshapon the Punisher Swan Alert. And I'm joined by Griffith's own Golden Tonsils, Brad George, and he's from radio station AM 963 2RG, and we're kicking off with the fight. Magic Man Frank Jumper, record of 9-13, and he's been the absolute go-to man in Australian boxing. And what an exciting thing it is to have a world title right here in Griffith.
On our doorstep, Pat, nonetheless. And Frank Jumper, local boy come good. He's been through the wars. His story's amazing. He was stabbed in jail. He's come good, of all things, through the art of pugilism. Boxing has really brought him to this point tonight, and here's his chance to prove it in front of a hometown crowd. He could have fought easily in front of a Sydney or Melbourne crowd.
And it continues the great Italian fighting tradition in Griffith. Carlo Marcini, Carmen Rotolo, Dominic Scalco, Cosmo Ferrero, Bruno Mancini, Francisco Ferreira, and of course Mick Gatto also had a fight up here in Griffith. So it's and
Mick
Frank's
Gatto,
looking to, that's a name indeed. He was once was a heavyweight boxer. Nothing really significant landed so far between Frank Jumper and Deshapon Swan Alert. It's a good tense fight. Both of them very cautious in the first round, more of a feeling out early round. Brad, you haven't seen any trends so far?
No, nothing as yet, but Frank is an honest boxer. He's out here. You can see the cross on his trunks. He really does want to put on show for Italian people, the people of Griffith, people who've come from nowhere. I saw it in his eyes when I interviewed him. He is hungry for the win, and Deshapon Swan Alert's going to be the victim.
And Frank Jumper's wearing the gold trunks with the tricolours of Italy, red, green and white. Deshapon Swan Alert in the blue trunks with the red trim. Experienced fighter from Thailand. He's fought them all. Deshapon, Pradeep Singh, Jamie Pittman, Daniel Lovett, Sakio Baker. He's been in with them all. This looks like it's going to be an interesting night as Deshapon Swan Alert lands a good left hook. And Frank goes in. Scores a knockdown. Flash knockdown. Nothing of significance landed. Referee Charlie Lucas puts on a count. And that will count as a 10-8. Charlie Lucas said it came from a punch. Did you see anything in that, Brad?
Well, this could be the start of Champa starting to open up and really put on a show. Like, here he goes again. Griffith have come out to see their boy Frank Champa. We've been talking it up on the radio on both Star FM and 2RG, so people know that Frank Champa is here for a reason, and that is to put on a show for the people of Griffith. He's so proud to have the fight here tonight.
The Magic Man's come with some intent, trained out of the Burnie Boxing Club now in Tasmania, and coming home to Griffith. Already scored a knockdown in this round, and is that lunging style of Frank's causing a lot of problems for Deshaun Swanalert.
Lands a beauty to Swanalert. He wasn't ready for that one, I don't think.
Yeah, I think
Swanalert on the back foot at the end of round one.
And how did you score that round, Brad?
It started slow, but then out came Frank Champa, throwing some decent punches that actually connected. They're still sizing people up, though. And I dare and say, Frankie Barossa Champa, he's got the points at this point.
I think the first half of the round, they were really checking each other out, just having a look. And then all of a sudden, Frank exploded. And sometimes it doesn't look like it's straight out of the textbook with Frank Champa, but you get lots of heart and lots of intent. And if he lands that wild left hook, it's going to have an impact on Deshaun. I've got the first round to Frank Champa, a 10-8 round. That was counted as a knockdown, so we'll score that a 10-8 round under the 10-point must-scoring system. And very heartening for the fans who thought that Frank might come out slow, might get caught unawares. When you're promoting a show in your own town, it can come with a lot of pressures, but he looks focused and committed, and I like what I saw.
Seconds out. Round two about to get underway here at the Ugali Club. Round two, Frank Champa, Deshaun Swanalert.
Deshaun Swanalert, the Punisher.
And here he goes. I predicted this, that Frank Champa would all of a sudden start throwing them and make some good body blows. It's like he gets sick of being on the back foot and then wants to attack in a big way.
Oscar Harding in Frank's corner, urging him to move forward and use that jab. Frank, haven't really seen too much from Deshaun Swanalert yet.
Landed a beauty to the jaw there. The left came around and really took him on the side of the face.
Yeah. I think Frank really does fancy himself now with that left hook, and he's trying to muscle Deshaun Swanalert around. He's trying to pull him around the ring and just show who's boss physically. Swanalert doesn't like it, but nothing illegal there. No point deducted by referee or warning from referee Charlie Lucas. Very physical fight early, Brad.
It is. They've got tangled up a couple of times, just like this right now. The referee rather calls him the break.
Frank Champa, Deshaun Swanalert, fighting for the WBF Asia Pacific title, Ugali Club in Griffith. Haven't seen too much from Swanalert so far. All Frank Champa, dominating in front of his home crowd.
Pat, it's a vacant title, so one of these boys will walk out with that belt tonight.
And Frank's one of those Cinderella stories of the game. Have gloves, will fight. Went around to Australia, took a lot of fights at short notice, but here he is on his home soil, fighting for an Asian Pacific title. He's taking it very seriously, and he's getting the best of the exchanges with Deshaun Swanalert. Swanalert fights back with the left jab. Still Frank dominating the exchanges.
Remember, Frank Champa was one of Danny Green's first fights. So he's been the distance with the best in the game.
Deshaun Swanalert, he's been caught with a few good shots, hasn't been wobbled seriously yet. He's certainly learnt to respect the power of Frank Champa. He's looking to land that left hook. Throwing a few lead rights as well. Just showing a few options. Looks very strong when he gets his jab going, Brad.
Champa's on the attack, and he's putting on a show for the home crowd. Make no mistake.
A couple of good shots.
And he goes down.
And that's not a count by Charlie Lucas. I think that one will be ruled a slip. But he's still physically bullying, and Deshaun Swanalert is showing some blood now from the lips. Result of some of those heavy Frank Champa left hooks. And Frank, look, when Frank tries to box, he looks good, doesn't he, Brad?
He's got great technique, very clean. Until Swanalert does that, grabs him, gets him all tangled up. That's no good.
Well, it's an option for Swanalert now because Champa is winning on the inside and winning the power shots. Swanalert does strike back there with a right hand, but doesn't impact on Frank.
In round two, Frank Champa taking on Deshaun Swanalert. Griffith, keep the noise up for your local boy, Frank Jumper.
It's early days, but over a 10-round fight, Frank is setting a tempo and imposing himself on Swan Alert. And I don't think this will go the full distance if it continues on in this vein. What does Swan Alert have to do, Brad?
Swan Alert definitely needs to make some connections. Body blows are required to sort of put some fatigue on Jumper. Jumper's looking all the goods at the moment. He's setting the play, he's setting the agenda. He's making Swan Alert come out and really have to make the connections to win the points. He's making him work very hard, as if the flight from Thailand wasn't enough. He's got to put up with Frank Jumper here in his hometown.
Well, Frank traditionally has a walk-up brawling style, but tonight he's showing some good skills.
Seconds out.
And a big thanks to our sponsors, Casellas Wine and Summit Employment, for helping put on this wonderful fight night. The 23rd fight in Griffith's long boxing history, hosted Dave Sands, Jeff Flash Malcolm, Mick Gatto, and now it's back. As we start round 3, Shomper in the green trunks, an Italian flag.
Swan Alert has been in the ring with none other than Sakio the Scorpion Beaker, who put on a great show as part of the Contender on Foxtel and Ozstar. But I can't see any of that tonight. He looks like one of those first round of ejections from the Contender at the moment. Frank Jumper, very comfortable in the ring. He knows the Ugali Club intimately.
Well, I think you have to give some credit to Frank. He's not allowing Deschapon to employ plan A and plan B. There seems to be no escapes from Frank Left's hook. As boxers find that punch that gets through, they work towards it and just systematically go to the breakdown. Great body shots, and now he's starting to pummel Deschapon on the ropes. Frank Jumper's all business tonight here in Griffith. He wants that title in front of his home crowd, and he's showing us all the benefits of improvement at the Burnie Boxing Club in Tasmania. I'm really loving what Frank's doing. Fantastic left jab again there from Jumper, showing some great skills for his home crowd.
Now, Pat, can you see this as a great foundation for boxing in Griffith? I can. I reckon this is a great turnout for the fight tonight. It's a great chance to have a title up for grabs as well. Listen to the crowd. They love Frank Jumper.
They love the Italian stallion. They love the Magic Man. And the Magic Man's delivering for them tonight with his left hook. And if Deschapon looks dangerous, he's wisely pulling him into clinch. He's winning on the judges' scorecards as far as we see it, and really setting a tempo now. Deschapon's going to have to do something new, something fresh. He's going to have to change it up because Frank's getting the better of exchanges.
It's across sports. Coach Cullen from the Griffith Demons has always said the crowd acts as a sixth man. They're right behind Frank Jumper tonight. They'll be add extra energy to those punches that land on Swan Alert, whether it be the rib cage, whether it be the shoulders, whether it be the head and face. Frank Jumper has got the crowd on his side here tonight, and it's really showing through.
And Frank just looks committed. He's all business. He's not taking any silly risks tonight. He's looking to land that left. He's looking to match Swan Alert for speed as well. A lot of boxers that have got the better of Frank have got him on speed, but he's saying to Deschapon, I'm improving all the time. I want this belt. I want it in front of my home crowd. I want to defend it again later this year. I want this fairy tale story to come true, and he's doing everything in his power to secure that belt here in round 3.
Now, Pat, how does this fight compare to the fight night overall? How does this compare to what you've seen out of Melbourne and other regional areas?
Excellent passion.
Yeah.
Wonderful marketing by Mario Rizzeri. The town was pumping about it. It was on the TV. It was on the radio, and it really has delivered. Great matchmaking by Michael Croucher and the World Boxing Foundation to put this on. It goes to show they don't have to be at the top of the tree to put on a great performance. Fantastic. I'll give that 3 rounds to Jumper, and Deschapon's yet to break open the account. What do you think, Brad?
Jumper easily at the moment. He's really showing great tenacity. He knows this is his home crowd. He knows he's got to put on a show, and that's exactly what he's doing. Like you said, Swan Alert, I think, is on plan C or D at the moment. Plan A and B, scratch those ones. He's really got to come out all guns blazing in the next few rounds to lay the foundation to get on the judge's side, but I can't see it happening. You can hear the crowd. They're right behind Frank Jumper.
Well, Swan Alert showed fantastic chin, and it remains to be seen what he has that can change this fight around, because once someone like Frank gets momentum, he's got the wind behind him now. It's going to be very, very difficult.
Seconds out. Let's hear you, Griffith, get behind Frank Jumper.
Round 4, the WBF Asia Pacific title. The main event at the Ugali Club, Griffith, the Moment of Truth, Saturday, April 17. Josh King, Peter Maniatis, and Mario Rizzeri promotion. Got a very raucous crowd in here at the Ugali Club. And haven't they been entertained, Brad?
They have right through the evening, from the young amateur boxers right through to the main event. They've all put on a great show. But Frank Champa is here and he means business. He said so on the radio. He said so in the area news, the local newspaper. And it's just a matter of how he's going to work out Swan Alert and find that attacking edge, just like he did then. A couple of quick combinations, and it's got Swan Alert on the back foot.
Swan Alert still looking to counter. Frank coming in, looking to land that counter punch, and also making the play himself. And he's landed a couple of lefts this round. Interesting development.
Let's hear you, Griffith. Turn it up for Frank Champa.
Oscar Harding in the corner, telling Frank to keep his hands up. Don't get complacent here in round 4. Very important that Frank maintains the tempo and doesn't allow a veteran like Deschapon to get back into this fight. Swan Alert's had 115 rounds under his belt. He's no slouch.
Definitely not, but he's on the back foot here tonight. It's from the get-go. From the minute the bell sounded for round 1, Frank Champa's come out with all guns blazing. He's paced himself well. He's watching what Swan Alert's throwing, and he's combating well.
Well, it's very clear that Swan Alert is less powerful than Frank when they come together. And Swan Alert now is trying to box Frank and maybe tire him out. 10 rounds is a long time.
And Frank's been training well, though, here in Griffith the last couple of weeks. He flew into Griffith 2 weeks ago, did a bit of media work, worked with the kids, and now he's out here. He means business, the moment of truth.
He looked fantastic at the weigh-in yesterday. He came in and right on the scales at 76.2 kilos, and he's looking good in round 4 against Deschapon Swan Alert.
The belt just sits to the side of the ring, Pat, and it's just a matter of Frank Champa coming along, collecting it at the moment, because he's on top of Swan Alert. Got him in the clinches here.
There has been a few punches that have got through, which is disturbing. Oscar Harding in the corner telling Frank not to be complacent. Fight's not in the bag yet. Frank needs all his concentration, really wants to close this off. He's got a great opportunity here in front of his own crowd and setting up again behind the jab, and that's where Frank's looking best for me, behind the jab, doing the fundamentals, not doing anything too risky, and letting Deschapon back in the right. Another great left from Frank. The jab's really getting through, a very much improved punch from the last couple of times I've seen Frank.
Frank's connected a couple of times to the head, which has done some serious damage to Swan Alert. Then they get into one of these clinches. It gives them a little time to refresh, but it's still Frank Champa with the ascendancy at the moment.
Really have to watch out for complacency here now from Frank. He's banked, as far as I see it, all of the rounds so far. The first 4 rounds have gone to Champa, but that round was Deschapon's best round, and Frank better watch out.
Deschapon Swan Alert, yeah, like you say, gaining ascendancy, but the man with the steering wheel in his hands goes by the name of Frank Champa.
A dominant performance so far, but in a 10-round fight, we're 4 rounds in, he's got a lot of experienced hands in his corner. Mario Rizzeri talking to him.
Round 5 coming up. But thanks to Summit Personnel and Employment and Casella Wines, this is the Moment of Truth main event at the Ugali Club, Griffith.
I've got a 4 rounds to 0, and it's even bigger than that because of that. It's really come to an interesting stage of the fight where Deschapon Swan Alert has to do something really, really significant now to turn the tide. I've got a 4 rounds to 0, all Champa, and it looks like he can go all night. He apparently runs boxing classes in Burnie. That's his full-time job. So it's not going to be fitness that lets Frank down. Deschapon's had a big, long flight from Thailand. Could still be jet lagged. International travel takes a while to adjust to. He's really going to have to step things up.
They've gone back to square one at the moment, sizing each other up, seeing where the punches are going to come from. Like we said before, Deschapon Swan Alert is on probably plan C at the moment. Frank Champa just working plan A, sticking to the program, making sure the short, sharp jabs are there.
Frank Champa's had over 97 rounds in his 23 fights, so he's been there as well. And all his experience is coming to bear now. It's just wonderful to see his improvement. Even at 32, Frank showing some fantastic improvement and catches Deschapon there with a great left hook. That remains the money punch in this fight. And the difference between the two fighters, quite frankly, also long with Frank's piston left jab. Really great work there by Oscar Harding and the Burnie Boxing Gym in getting him in great trim. He's really showing high-graded improvement, looking like a champion tonight. It's Frank Champa in the 5th round. Ugali Club Griffith for the WBF Asia Pacific title. It's all on the line for Frank in front of his fans.
5th round of 10, and Champa comes out swinging. Swanalert not quite sure. He hasn't worked out Frank Champa yet.
Good right hand there landed by Swanalert. Hasn't landed the volume that he landed in the last round, but it's still a very meaningful punch. Frank needs to be on his toes and not lose focus here, not lose size of the prize and get away from the plan set down by his team in the corner. Frank relentlessly moving forward. Deschapon fancies himself on the counter. He's landed 3 or 4 punches in the last run. Not enough to win the rounds, but enough to get Frank's attention.
Among the big names like yourself on ringside, Mick Croucher from the World Boxing Foundation. He's here to see the belt handed over to one of these fighters here this evening.
Yeah, he's driven up from Melbourne. Mick Croucher creating great opportunities for Australian fighters, and Frank Champa just goes to show if you stay long enough in the fight game and you keep impressing people, you're going to get your shot. And what an opportunity for Frank. Landing good shots here, taking this very seriously. He's come in great shape. Be very disappointed not to walk away with that belt tonight, Brad.
Peter Maniatis has been very surprised by the hospitality of Griffith and the professionalism Griffith has shown with regards to these fight nights.
Really a couple of heavy blows there, got Deschapon's respect. Frank's starting to move and getting the crowd worked up. And I think he may have Deschapon hurt in this particular instance because Deschapon's not moving forward, and that's the first serious acknowledgement that Frank's power is getting to him. He really didn't come out well in that exchange, and Frank getting through again.
With Casella Wines on board and Summit personnel as well, this is going to make for a huge title win for Frank Champa.
I've been really impressed with how the businesses and Griffith have got behind this event. Without the businesses, these fights don't happen. And what great entertainment on a Saturday night in Griffith, and they've come from all around the Riverina for this fight, and that's another round for Frank Champa.
In round 5 of 10 rounds, 10 3-minute rounds for the Asia Pacific Super Middleweight vacant title. In attendance tonight, Mick Croucher for the World Boxing Foundation. The president is ringside.
So how do you have it, Brad? We're halfway through the fight. Let's have your opinion midway. Frank's looking good. What does he need to do just to close this out?
Essentially, you'd like to see him land that ultimate crisp punch right on the bell. But I can't see it happening because Swanalert has still got the wall up, still defending well. And he's going to take him the whole 10 rounds if we're not careful.
What I saw in that round, I saw in round 4, Deschapon Swanalert had the best round of his fight, landed 5 or 6 clean punches. And on some judges' cards may have shaded.
Seconds out.
May have shaded round 4, but for round 5, to me, Frank Champa put a stop to that, went back to the fundamentals, and got the round for me. I've got him 5-0.
Round 6.
As we start round
6. Thanks to Summit Employment and Training and Casella Wines. Frank Barossa Champa taking on Deschapon Swanalert at the Ugali Club, the Moment of Truth Fight Night.
Frank finally lands that left hook as Frank Champa retires to the neutral corner. Deschapon goes down for the first time, and Charlie Lucas has ruled that, has come from a punch. And at the start of the 6th round, Frank Champa's going on the attack now. He's got Deschapon. Deschapon goes down in the neutral corner, and Frank Champa's jumped all over him. He's showing the hunger of a champion, and this could be Griffith's first WBF champion in a long time. Deschapon gets up on shaky legs. The tie is showing intense courage moving forward, but he's in full defensive nose, and the towel from Jacko Swanalert, and Griffith has a new champion. Frank, the Magic Man Champa wins the World Boxing Foundation Asia Pacific title with a brutal knockdown, 2 knockdowns in round 6. And Brad, it's a big night for the local boy. He's come good.
This is going to be a big night for Griffith and Frank Champa. This is exactly what he came here for. Months in the planning. Frank Champa out of Griffith, New South Wales. He'll be wearing that belt up Manor Avenue, don't you worry.
And let's take nothing away from Deschapon, the Punisher. Swanalert, he was brave till the end. And his colleague, Jacko, threw in the towel. And we have a new WBF Asia Pacific champion. And it's Frank, the Magic Man Champa.
Look out Manor Avenue, you're going to see that belt in town.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth fight night in 57 seconds into the 6th round by knockout, and the towel thrown in, Frank Barossa Jumper! Your WBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Frank the Magic Man Jumper.
First of all, I want to thank all the crowd that came tonight. Support me, I appreciate it. This is my hometown and I love it. And I've always said I want to have a title fight in Griffith, New South Wales, my hometown. And the night has come and I've done it. And I also want to donate this belt to my daughter Talia. She turned 12 months last Thursday. I couldn't make it there, obviously. Sacrifice, so I'm taking this belt home to my daughter Talia. And I do this for my family, all my family in Griffith. All my relations, all my family, all my friends. And for my wife Jodie, my daughter Talia, my son Antonio, and all my family at home. And also my father, Antonio Champa, for coming here to support me, my brother McKelly, Chris Romanelli, my mate, my training partner, Oscar Harding, who was my coach that I trained with at the Shen Academy in Burnie, Tasmania, Mario Azeri, for putting in a lot of hard work for months now to put this fight night on, and also training me the last 2 weeks, and Peter Moniatis for helping with the WBF title belt, for putting it on, and also Mick Crouch. And I want to thank everyone. Thank you very much. I'm very happy, very excited. And Josh King Promotion. Let's not forget Josh King Promotions. Thank you very much. And I promise you'll see more of me. Thank you. Salud. Chetani.